there are metrics, and funny you said that we actually also during 2020 try to evaluate how much does it cost to acquire a staff member.
Okay.
And we have come to a figure of about 5 to 6K per
To acquire-
person
to
just
acquire.
to acquire alone. And you can, as I said, measure monthly turnover within 3 months. More important, if people do leave, we created a system of exit interviews. Why are you leaving? What are the reasons for it? And you have a set of very specific questions that would review ethical leadership, or satisfaction from work, or working conditions, or working relationships, or recognition at work, flexibility at work. And all of it comes into a set of quantifiable data that then gives you certain compass. You know, you can measure trends. We've seen it quite frequently, especially within our food and beverage departments, that element of corporate loyalty has somewhat disappeared. So how can we best guarantee that you joining an organization as a default, you wanted to join us? So what have we done wrong? That's the question that one needs to ask. It's not about you leaving us, it's about us letting you leave. And why are we there? Because we have just spent $5,000 recruiting you, screening CVs, running countless interviews, spending time on induction, giving you health and safety trainings, paying for your licensing to be able to access all of our corporate resources. When you join, of course, you're not a ready employee, you know, you need to take time to develop. So then we spend 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, whatever it takes to get you where we would like you to be. And then you leave. Probably it's on us, no? That's how one needs to look at it. So
that's very intellectual, isn't it? To think in that way is a very good thing to do.
But it needs to be. Before the pandemic, we introduced employee surveys. Not only were they there to assess, as I said, what is your overall satisfaction, but as I have already mentioned, your sense of belonging, your ability to express yourself. And I think that it's quite easy to conclude that people leave because of money. I think that wage plays a significant part of the decision-making process, but more often than not, it's considered if it's fair. Wage needs to be fair. There is so much more behind the reasons for people to leave. And more often than not, you actually see that it's not the wage. And I'm not trying to, again, defend hospitality as an industry, because
Sure.
I think that, in fact, it's quite a positive trend that pandemic is pushing hospitality to rethink our wage modeling, especially for the entry-level positions. The market has become much more competitive, and I think it's good to see really that organizations have moved quite significantly from, you know, the minimum wage, and we are far beyond that point, at least within Edwardian. But there is so much more to it, and you can only discover that if you speak to the people on the floor. You can't just come up with a theoretical opinion of it.
I think there was Glassdoor that did some research, and it said that 85% of employees and teams would take an employee benefit loyalty strategy over wages for a number of reasons, but mainly because if they're going to get a certain amount of money as a bonus, they know that some of that or a lot of that would go, they wouldn't receive it because of whatever reason, tax, for example. But it's interesting that the survey was about actually giving them different things that they valued.
Correct.
When we think it's money.
Correct.
And there are many
Correct.
things.